Hey guys, Ryan here from Ryan Gun UK, and tonight I'm bringing you a new deck profile. I was at work today and I just had this thing in my head all day about making a new deck, so I thought I'd go ahead and do it. And I got home and so it's like, I really want to run plants again, because I started running plants at the beginning of the format and then just kind of took them apart because I thought they weren't really viable. But I just said to myself, I want to run plants again, because if you don't know, I love running plants. So started putting things together. I was thinking, what can I do to make plants kind of more solid and put like a second engine sort of thing in? And well, I didn't really get another engine, but I did come up with a good idea for a deck. Well, I think it's a good idea, and I want to share it with you guys and just kind of get your views. Um, so I'll jump straight into the deck profile. This is a plant deck. I've not really seen one like it before, but I've run similar builds with different versions, and I just thought, actually, so let's jump straight into the deck profile here. So first off, we've got BLS, obviously goes in any deck he can fit in. He's just a good card. Plant engine here, we've got Spore, Lone Dandy, and 2 Debris Dragons. Obviously this is the plant engine for this format. If I ran it traditional, I would replace the Debris with a Glow Up. 2 Tall Guide and Sangan. Tall Guide is just for the Sangan in this build, and obviously I can set up the field, I can make something else. But although what I suggest, I don't really like running Tall Guide out something where I can't really use her, I decided I'd better for this deck, because the Sangan can be really helpful for some of the cards. 2 main Cyber Dragons. Yes, this is a bit strange, but I was looking up, well, I better tell you now, this is kind of a combination of plants and chaos. I was looking up some chaos decks from last format, and a lot of them main 2 Cyber Dragons, and I just think there's always that risk of Giganos being big at a tournament, and it works against them mains and other like wind up cards, and anything machine that comes out, you can kind of use Cyber Dragon to burst past it, so I decided Cyber Dragon needs to go in the deck. Just kind of, just a thing there. 2 Veiler. Oh, also Cyber Dragon's good for getting over light types, and he's good for synchro material, so. Not light types, getting over big monsters early. 2 Effect Veilers. Start one of the stars of the before. Well, she'll always be a star, because there's always going to be effects in the game that she can negate. The Raikou. Not a lot of chaos decks that I looked at really ran this, but I just really like Light Swans as well, and I thought Raikou deserved to be in the deck because he's one. He is one of my favourite cards as well. He's a level 2 as well, which makes him viable with Debris and other synchro materials. And if your opponent leaves him their set because they know it's a Raikou, he can become a floater, so a good floater as well. 2 Thunder King of Ryo, star card really for every deck, I think. He can shut down so many card decks that search or special summon, and if you just leave him there and your opponent's not smart enough to just kind of get rid of him, he'll just sit there all game if he wants to. And with 1900 attack, he's pretty offensive as well. Then moving on to the darks, I've got 2 DD Chrome. Obviously, Insectors are still big, and it gets rid of the Hornet if it's in the graveyard and stuff like that. I was going to run 2 Kaiku, but then I kind of decided against it because I thought DD Chrome would be better because I can just get the instant drop. And then obviously second game, I've sideboarded the Kaiku, so obviously second game, if I decide Kaiku's better than DD Chrome, I can move in the Kaiku. 1 Gauze and 2 Tragodia, my hand traps for the deck. I just thought hand traps would be important, so yeah, they're in there. Hand traps are good for this kind of build because, well, I'm not running many traps, and most traps aren't really for dealing with attacks, so hand traps are good. 1 Phantom of Chaos, he's my little tech in the deck. It's not really much he does, but if you've got a BLS that's kind of like been left there and you can't reborn it because of Raikou or something, and you get the Chaos into your hand, and it is searchable by Sangan, you can just kind of play it and drop the VLS to banish one of their monsters, and then, attack the rest of your monsters, and then Hopefully you can keep Chaos on the field for a turn, and then the turn after, either fuse synchro with him or something, you know. Or you could even like use his effect as BLS and synchro with him. There's quite a lot of things you can do with Final Chaos, so a lot of tech. And then a Spit Reaper. I mean, dragons are still. I still see a lot of dragon players around, strangely, and he kind of works really well against dragons. And anything that has a hard time when it can't get over a little monster. So yeah, no, so I can kind of use him with Tour Guide. Like I play him, and then play Tour Guide, search the Sangan, leave the Sangan there to float, and overlay with the Reaper if I have to. And then I'll avoid showing you the two radio. I'll just make sure the deck's in the right order. Moving on to the spells, obviously my generic uh, staples. We've got Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Dark Core, Book and Moon. Um, just for general deck play, every deck should kind of main those if they have to. One thing I will note about this deck, I'm not maining MST. That's an important one. In fact, yeah, I'm not maining it. I'm siding it. I just was looking at the space, and I just couldn't fit MSTs in with everything else. I was going to run MSTs, but I decided to put Torguide in. So yeah. Charge a light gauge for Raikou. People say this is a lot of mill, but generally you won't go for all your Raikous because you'll either mill one or you just you won't need them late game. Foolish Burial sets up the graveyard with Dandelion or whatever you need in it. Mind Control, again, it's just a general card in Synchro decks. Take your opponent's monster, Synchro with it if it's the right level, and which you go, if you've got the right monsters in your extra deck, you can also overlay with it if you've got monsters in your graveyard. 1-for-1, just for grabbing Spore really. Also, it can be used to grab effect really if needed, and DD Crow as well. One Avarice, obviously, a lot of monsters in the graveyard. It's quite a monster dependent deck. It runs 25 monsters, 5 traps, and 10 spells. So Avarice is really good, just for getting through the deck, especially if you've got a lot of synchros or whatever in the graveyard. So, and a Scapegoat. Obviously, it's just that card that just works. If you're going to get assaulted by a lot of attacks, it can block it. If you want to make synchros, it's good because you get the silver 1 tokens. And none of my traps are too called Haunted. Just because reborning some of your tuners stuff's an important deck, and I never ran Corn in plants before, and I thought it'd be a good idea for me to try it. I think it will work very well in my MST setup, and not by that I don't mean mystical place or anything, but I mean Mirror Force, Solemn, Torrential. It's a combo run in a lot of decks at the minute, and I just think it works really well just running one of each, even though 2 of these are at 2, I just think one of each just works really nicely. And for any of those that are good at counting, yes, that is exactly 40 cards in the main deck. Strange for me, I know, I usually run 41 in plants, but 40 I thought, hey, why not? Moving on to the actual deck. Again, with the Sangan token, he's just gonna get out of the way. One Catastor, general synchro for plants, so outroll 5 does a lot of damage. And it can shut down like heroes and stuff if they don't have a dark output. Ancient Fairy Dragon, it's level 7, deals with field spell decks, 3000 defense, it's just a good card. And you can use its ability very well in plants. I feel its first ability, if you go first or something, and you manage to synchro in the first turn, you can drop a Thunder King or something. Just Almiarm, generic level 4 synchro, just so you've got the levels in there. Yeah, that's all I can really say about Almiarm. He's good as well with like things like Stardust and like he can make quite powerful. And he goes to work with Thunder King, like leaving the Thunder King on 29, your opponent's not really going to get over it by attacking it, so they've got to get rid of it in another way. Black Rose Dragon, generic level 7. Not many people use it for its plant-based effect, but I actually like that effect. But I probably won't use it that often, but it's still a good card for the nuke, and its effect is 24. Formula Synchron, obviously for plants, making low-level synchros is good. You can use it to sync in your opponent's turn. It's Formula Synchron. Iron Chain Dragon. I would have gone for Gaianite, but I decided with Debris and Raikou, it's a better combo. to go debris into Ryko and make that, rather than debris into something you haven't, necessarily got in the graveyard. So I went for Iron Chain Dragon there, just on the off chance it might work. Obviously through playtesting I found some really interesting combos with like debris and stuff as well. But Iron Chain Dragon is good. I like Iron Chain Dragon, so you can stay in. Scrap Dragon, generic level 8 synchro, just the job. Shooting Star Dragon, a lot of people probably call me a noob for this, but I run Shooting Star just because I really like Shooting Star Dragon. He's one of my favourite cards in the game. I just think he's awesome. So, yeah, I'm going to main him. In any deck where I can drop him particularly easy, I've just dropped him down here somewhere. There he is. Yeah. In any deck where I can play him off easily, Shooting Star Dragon is going to be one of my main cards. Stardust Dragon, obviously, because it's Shooting Star formula. I mean, generally with like plant decks that I've been running in the past, I don't run Shooting Star, but then I often end up with Stardust / Formula Fields, so I'm going to try it. One Librarian, it's that bank card that just keeps coming back and making a mess of itself, and it's just really good for drawing extra cards and being a 2400 beater. It's level 5, so why not. Then onto my expertise, I have Levier. Obviously with a deck where I've got like cards I want to remove myself, and then I can bring them back later, so it's good. Leviathan Dragon, generic level 3. Topia for level 4s. Zen Mains for level 3s. And Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for the main Cyber Dragons. As you can see, it's just a generally good deck. Extra deck wise, for me, it's an extra deck I like sort of playing. It's like the style deck I like playing with, so. Gonna move on to the side deck very quickly. Third Cyber Dragon, obviously for the same reasons, but if it's a full machine deck, I don't want to be relying on 2, so I'll side in the third. 2 Kaiku to replace the DD codes if I don't really need them in the deck. Like, I don't really find something I need to remove. An extra Reaper. Sometimes I just find that one isn't enough, and I might just like take out Gauze for it. If I decide like I'm not trapping them enough with Gauze, or I'm putting too many cards on the field, just a bit of Reaper will come in. Thunder King, again, third Thunder King, just because sometimes you need more than 3, more than 2. One enemy controller, I didn't main them either, I usually main them in plants, but I just decided I didn't have the space to main them. So I'm siding one for I need a little bit of extra monster control, and just instead of mind control. 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, obviously because I'm not maining them. In like a normal situation where I'd side them, I'd like take out my Raikou and my charge for those and the enemy controller if I needed to. If I thought Raikou wasn't going off fast enough, I was getting like removed because of my opponent was planning for it. I could use those instead to go to back row. That's usually what I use Raikou for, is back row rather than monsters, because I just find I can usually get over the monsters after. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Decks like Rabbit and stuff where it's just really effective. Or any rogue decks that run a lot of big beaters, and I just haven't got the capabilities to deal with them. 10 Disappearance again for Rabbit, and any deck where I can use it effectively just to kind of slow them down. And 2-dimensional Prison, because sometimes you just get aggro decks that like to attack and the force isn't enough. So obviously there, I've got outs to most things I would not like to deal with. So that's it for my deck. Obviously I'm probably going to make a few changes to it as time goes on and I test it at tournaments and stuff. But for now I'm quite happy with it as it is. If you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below or messaging me. I will put links to my Facebook and stuff on the video at the end as well. So stay tuned for those. And yeah, that's kind of it really. Just wanted to show you that, guys, and let you know that I've decided to make a new deck, and it's a deck that most people consider not to be too good, but I've been a plant player I started off on Morphtronics. I drifted through a few decks, and I came to plants, and plants are just the deck I always wanted to play. It's got everything I've always wanted in a deck. It's not just that it was good at the time that I started picking it up. It's that it's a deck I've always just, since I started playing it, enjoyed. Even last format when it was dead completely, I still tried to play plant variants, just using debris and dandelion as the plant engine and revolving around them, and still remaining lone fires just for those. Well, just for the dandy, because I just love the deck. No, I think it was at a tournament where I ran Junk Warrior, Dandelion, Debris in a combo with Lone Fire, and I think I went Copy Plant because I needed another plant type, obviously, for Lone Fire to grab if Dandelion was already in the grave. Um, but yeah, hopefully this deck's going to be good. I'm also going to try it out some more, probably tonight, if not tomorrow. I've got a day off work tomorrow, so yeah. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned for more, and keep your eyes out for that interview. It's going to come soon.